Okay, what we're going to do is mould the screen to the film to the screen now. So if you want us to get started, Jack. What he's doing is applying some heat to the lower part of the screen. Once that part starts deforming, he's going to squeegee it down and the film will start taking the shape of the screen. Just work a little bit lower, Jack. We need to be heating from about here downwards and leave this centre section as is. So if you can see from the reflections, this film is actually changing shape slightly, and that's allowing Jack just to squeegee it down so it starts forming the shape of the screen. He's not putting really any pressure on, he's just gently heating it and then gently squeegeeing it down. It doesn't need to go down first time, we can just keep going over, heating it, pushing it down until we're happy with the shape. Okay, he's going to move around to the other side of the car now. So as you can see, the bottom half of that screen is not perfectly moulded to the screen, but it doesn't need to be. He's going to carry on the bottom left hand side. Okay, let's see if we can get a bit of a close-up on how the film actually reacts when we heat it. So if you look at the reflection, as I'm heating this, the reflections are changing shape, and that means the film's ready to be squeegeed down as Jack's doing now. Yep. So basically, he's moulded the bottom third of the screen and not touch the centre of the screen or the sides. Okay, now we're happy with that. He's going to start in the top left hand corner now and basically repeat the whole procedure on the top of the screen. So again, it's the top third of the screen. So not too much heat and not too much pressure. And it's just gently forming itself to the shape that it needs to get it to. Okay, that half's done. He can come over to this side now and he'll start just finishing off the last quarter of the screen. Still see the film's just deforming nicely, just softening up just enough so he can squeeze it down and the film will take the shape of the screen. Okay, that's fine now. What we're going to do is get ready to actually install the film to the screen. Okay, we're ready to actually fit the moulded screen over to the screen on the car now. So what Jack's doing is taking off the release layer carefully from the back without actually touching the glued side of the film. He's released just a very small area. He's keeping his fingers on the release layer, that is the non-exposed glue. Just need to get some solution on there. Now he's got solution on there, he can actually hold it by the glued area. Okay, we take off some more of the release layer. Some more solution on. Okay, he's going to hold it by the centre now, so he's got pretty much full control of the film. Just taking off a little bit at a time, keeping it wet. Okay, as we get to this level, we can let go of the release layer, and he'll stand on that with his foot, and while we're spraying it, he'll lift the screen into the air, completely exposing the glue. Just needs to drop it down and stand on it again. Okay, we're completely free now. We can give that screen one last spray, make sure we've completely soaked it, and just before the screen goes on, we're going to completely saturate the windscreen. Okay, the windscreen and the glued side of the film is completely saturated. So that's just being applied. Being careful to line that up as closely as you can. You can always move it a little bit afterwards. And gently letting the film just relax onto the screen. Okay, now we just line it up on this side, and he's going to walk round to the other side and line up the other side. And there should be just enough tack so that it doesn't fall off the screen. Okay, I think he's happy with that, so we can actually wet the outside of the screen now so that we don't scratch the film when we run the squeegee during the installation. Okay, we've got blue max squeegee, and he's going to start in the very centre of the screen and work upwards with a fairly gentle stroke to start with so it doesn't disturb the film. So fairly gently to start with. Okay, we're now going to go over that quite heavily now to make sure we get all the water out. Now he's going to go from the centre down to the bottom of the screen now. Essentially we're going to make the shape of a cross on the screen. So we need to press a lot harder than Jack's doing, which I'm sure he's going to do now, as hard as he can. Okay, now he's going to work from the centre of the screen back towards himself. Okay, he's going to come over to the other side of the car